to accuse me of I was sleeping on stream where I used fake footage and all this other stupidness.
Time has not been kind to me in a lot of different games. This is one of them. Tom and Jerry Frantic Antics. For the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive if you're in Europe or Japan or wherever else they call it the Mega Drive. This is one of those games that I played a lot as a kid. I got it from a movie rental store and played the hell out of it. And you know what? Going back to it, it's kind of... I mean, I like it. It's not that it's god-awful, but the controls are really slippery and the graphics are weird and washed out. This isn't my video settings, folks. This is the graphics. But honestly, there is some to like for this one. Now, the thing is, I always knew this was the Tom and Jerry movie game. Now, the movie sucked royally. They gave Tom and Jerry actual voices, and the Nostalgia Critic put it best in his review, you know, Tom and Jerry don't fucking talk. So they decided to make this game, which is, it does follow the movie's story. Past this episode. Well, past this level, I mean. And overall, it's, if it didn't have the movie connection to it, it would have been better. But that's why they called it Frantic Antics instead of Tom and Jerry the movie the game, because, yeah, the movie sucks so bad, and I guess this came out right after the movie, and nobody liked the movie, so they still had to sell the game. Either way, my fondest memory of this game that we're about to get to in level 2 was the whole level that I had the most trouble with during this playthrough. And that was when you'll see it. But either way, this game has always been in the back of my mind as one of those really weird, just oddball games. It makes no sense. I mean, why does Tom spin like Sonic? Why are the graphics so weird and kind of washed out, and what am I doing? I mean, Tom and Jerry is a pretty simple show. It's basically slapstick, and you know, it's classic slapstick at its best. You know, I love the sound effects and everything from it. And, you know, my favorite one, you know, the scream. Right, that sound right there that you just heard is probably my favorite soundbite of all time. Now, this game is just, it doesn't have any of that. I wish it did. What about a death? What about having him do that scream I just played as his death thing? You know, that would have been really cool. But no, it's just weird. It reminds me a lot, and I know people are going to be like, what the fuck in the comments section, but this reminds me a lot of Bubsy. It was one of, not in the gameplay or anything, it was because I played Bubsy as a kid, and I never could remember what it was called, and I played it a hell of a lot, and was really into it, right? And it's still, I mean, it's not even a bad game, really. Bubsy isn't. I mean, it's pretty bad. Bubsy 3D was awful. Bubsy 1 was good. 2 sucked. 3, whatever. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. What I'm getting at is, I never knew what Bubsy was until later, years later. I couldn't remember because I was a kid. You know, I didn't really pay attention to titles that well for little obscure games and things like that. But it was one of those oddities where I remember gameplay elements and I loved it as a kid, and then I come back and it kinda sucks. So here's the level that I was talking about earlier where they bulldozed the house, and this is why I searched for this game the whole time saying Tom and Jerry the movie for Super Nintendo, because I thought it was Super Nintendo or Game Boy or Genesis or something. I never could find it because the one for the movie is not this. This is completely different, but this is the movie game for Sega Genesis. Maybe they already had one that was the movie, the game for Sega Genesis. I don't know why they renamed this to Frantic Antics, even though it kind of rhymes. It's stupid. But either way, this level is quite difficult because there is shit coming from everywhere, and it's not because of the actual game itself. I mean, it's not because of the enemies are hard to avoid, it's because the controls are really slippery and fucked up, and it's very maze-like. Now, this is my biggest memory from the game, is pretty much getting lost here as a kid, never getting anywhere. Seriously, as a kid, I never got past this, and I just didn't. So, this playthrough here did answer a lot of questions, and pretty much told me this was actually the movie game with a different title. Now, there is absolutely nothing on pretty much anywhere that I can find about this, except for maybe like GameFAQs or something like that, that really gave me that conclusion. So I had to play through this till the end to figure out that this was just a rebadged movie game. Yeah, knew it was based on the movie, but I didn't know that they had to rebate. Why the fuck didn't they just call it Tom and Jerry the movie? The game. I mean, fuck, they did it with Street Fighter. That was a shitty game. Street Fighter the movie, the game. Don't start freaking out thinking I'm saying Street Fighter 2 sucked. But either way, I digress, and this level is quite challenging, honestly. It's a lot of... You just gotta move your ass, basically. And once you figure out the layout from here, which makes no sense because no one lives in a house like this, you get through it and you're fine. You walk into a house that's being bulldozed, I think I'll just turn my ass around and walk the fuck out. Especially when I see the wrecking ball outside. I mean, Tom is not exactly stupid, but whatever. I like to digress a lot. I like to be different than Let's Players. Other Let's Players. I don't want to sit here and just tell you, there, well, you jump here and you just fuck around here and yeah, well, you do this, that. No, I'm just gonna tell you just whatever the fuck comes to mind, and my gaming memories, because that's what it's about. Nobody wants a review of this game. No one's really gonna play it. That's why you're watching me play it. Yeah, you're watching me play the shitty games on JOHNNYFOX's Gaming Nightmares. I should start calling the show that. The Gaming Nightmares, like nightmares from my childhood of gaming. Because, yeah, I'm a gamer to the point that I literally dream games and kind of think that I dream up half this shit, but I don't. And then when I find out it's actually a gaming nightmare I had. So either way, we're finally out of level 2, and let's move on to level 3. This game isn't very long, by the way. It's only about 30 minutes. Once you actually get through all the quirks and everything. Now, this is a nice little feature. You get to play as Tom and Jerry. Hence the name of the game, Tom and Jerry. So this is the scene from the movie where they actually just fucked the whole thing up. Tom and Jerry get voices, and they're not even close to what fucking Mel Blanc could have done, or Hanna-Barbera, or whoever was doing all the voicing back then. When I think voice actor, I always think Mel Brooks, because he did all the Looney Tunes. I believe that was his name. Mel Blanc. Shit, I fucked that up. I'll fix that in post. But anyway, yeah, Mel Blanc. Or Blanc. Or, I don't know, I'm not, I'm from the South, so we just would say Blanc. Either way, it doesn't matter. Ooh, look at that fish here. You look really friendly. I think Tom would have a field day with your... What in the fuck is that? A Cubone with the scuba mask? That makes no sense. Either way, so basically you go from point A to point B, get cheese, get fish, depending on who you are. This game is miles ahead of high tech. Their game on Super Nintendo. That game was fucking awful. It was just fucking dreadful, to coin a phrase, I guess you would say. I was trying to think of a word, since this is all live. I was trying to think of a word, basically, because this game is so much better, just in level design alone, than the one for Super Nintendo. But the Super Nintendo one is the one that everybody wants to see, which I'll get to that at a later point, but as of right now, I'm not fucking with it, because I couldn't even really get that far mentally to do it. I already had the footage and I was ready to do it, and I couldn't come up with commentary. I was just sitting here bored as fuck and just bitching about high tech the whole time, because they are one of the worst gaming companies ever. So yeah, they're up there with LJN. That's the thing is, LJN, versus the people that made this game. There's so many people that are like, oh, LJN's no, high tech's the worst. LJN didn't make half those fucking games. It was a claim. And LJN just published it. There's a difference. Either way, not getting into a speech of business practice. This is Tom and Jerry for the Sega Genesis, and I don't have time to teach you distributors and publishers and developers and all that shit. Either way, high tech.